All right, welcome everybody to Saturday's Winter Series, the Dirt Late Model Series 1RC here at Lanes Raceway. As you can see right now, we got a few of the guys qualifying. We also had a few guys here Tuesday night. Sorry that the live stream wasn't working there. We had the uh, electrical, what do you call it? Meter. We had the meter pulled and changed out. We've had some issues with the meter, so we had it pulled out and it reset all my cameras. So we just now got those back up and running yesterday. If you guys had tuned in and checked out the list race, drag racing that we had, but we're back up and running now. And as you can tell, this is our winter series for the RC group, and it is the late model series. So they're only taking up points for the beginner late model class. That's what you're seeing right now. But we're going to be running through all the classes here for Saturday. Now, here's how it works. So the guys that come here on Tuesday, they've already been wrote down their points for the week. They cannot get points today, no matter how good they do or how bad they do. So if they do really, really well, get first place, and they didn't get first place in a race last week or something, it will not matter because they got their points Tuesday. But the guys that are here today that haven't raced Tuesday, they can get their points. But the guys that race Tuesday can block those guys in a position. So let's say, for instance, Tim, for instance, he was here Tuesday. You guys didn't get to see that. Sorry about that. He won the race, okay? So there's no real reason for him to show up here other than to keep somebody else from getting 100 points. So we want to kind of encourage that to keep the racer group as much as we possibly can on the weekends and throughout the week, but also be kind of open-ended for people that just can't make it on certain days. So Tim is here going to try his best to keep these guys from getting that first place so that he can remain up there in that first position. We've done this before and it works out pretty good. Now we're only counting 4 of the 8 races that will be for the winter series here. I've already developed and created a t-shirt for these guys. And they are more than welcome to purchase that at the end of the series if they like. If not, that's fine too. It doesn't cost anything from to be in this race series other than they have to have the late model 1RC car, whichever one of these guys do. As you can kind of tell, my voice is getting a little raspy yet again. It just seems like I can't get over this chest congestion. But nonetheless, we're going to power through it. I think we had a good night last night during the list race. It was received really well. I had a few concerns that took place, and we're working on those right now. I think first and second place might have had a jump take place there as we went back and reviewed that on the live stream. So that'll get changed over here before next week. Not a big deal though. Their t-shirt also already been created. We're just waiting on getting a picture of all the guys lined up against the drag strip so that we can get them kind of cartoonized, I guess, to put on the back of everybody that's in the list race. If you're interested in getting into any of these race series, you're more than welcome to. All you got to do is come down, either have yourself a late model, for instance, in this series from 1RC, no additional parts, no aftermarket parts, nothing but 1RC parts, period, the way they come out of the box. And you have to use the out of the box controller and battery, and you're more than welcome to jump into this series and race with these guys. Like I said, this is their first week, and we got 7 more weeks to go. We're only counting 4 of those weeks. The other 4 will be drops, so that gives you plenty of opportunity to not have to be here every single week, or that maybe one week you can't make it Tuesday, you can make it Saturday, or one week you can make it Saturday and can't make it Tuesday. We're kind of open-ended there for you so that you can get your race times and stuff like that in. So after the qualifying there, as we see, it looks like Tim Hall is going to have the fastest qualifying at 4.019. So we'll go ahead and finish that up. We'll make it official. And at any time, guys, we do have rules in place. These guys are going to check each other's cars out at the end of the A main and B main features, and they can check them in between times and stuff like that. If at any time somebody feels like they need to protest, the protest is $10, $10. It's $10 to the shop for the protest and $10 to the individual for the protest. And then if the protest is right, let's say they do find somebody that has done something wrong, then the person that's done wrong must pay the 10 and 10. And then, of course, they're forfeited for that weekend. If they choose not to do that and all that, they'll just be disqualified from the series. Other than that, if they're not found out wrong, then the person that did the protesting has to pay the 10 and 10. So that's kind of a way to let everybody keep each other equal. Guys, up now is Dirt Modified, Garrett Burden, Blake Panel, Tim Hall. 10 minutes to qualify. And we're just running through these qualifying, just talking. If any time the guys want to come over here and they want to chit chat about what they've been doing this week or whatever, we do have a microphone set up over here. They can more than welcome to come on over here and hang out with us. All they got to do is turn the mic on. They can talk to us. I got a wireless mic here too if they don't want to deal with the one that's wired. We are live streaming YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch if you want to jump on in and do a little bit of chatting with us. Right now, Tim Hall up in his open wheel modified. We're looking at whenever the weather changes a little bit, gets a little bit warmer, we're going to be running some 1RC asphalt outside, guys. We already got the camera set up, so that's going to be pretty interesting. You guys will be able to watch some outside asphalt racing on some of the asphalt cars here, and that'll be pretty cool. I've been asked a few times, is this an actual dirt track? For those that don't know, it's just paint. It's painted, latex rubber painting coating. Uh, it is not real dirt, even though it can be kind of fooling somewhat. But we still have to prep it every week. We use rubbing alcohol to turn the paint over to make it stickier. And then that wears off eventually, and then the cars get a little bit slippy. But that's the point. It's supposed to be a dirt track. It's not supposed to be an asphalt track. And it's very unique. I think we're right now. I mean, I haven't seen anybody that's done this. I've seen a track that's close to this that's been made out of wood, but I haven't seen anything that's identical to this, painted and stuff. I've seen some that was built by wood though. Jack Sadar says, "Hey buddy, hey Jack." Right now, fastest lap time is Blake Panel 3.920. And we see Garrett Burden up here in his right now. Looks like possibly his battery might be a little bit low, as he's way off time here. But it does look a little bit low. Garrett Burden's going to do a 4.530. So Blake Panel's going to have the fastest time there. We'll go ahead and finish that up, make it official. Now, one thing that kind of stinks today is we do not have track marshals. So, yeah, but you're just one person, T. So the guys are just going to, we'll just have to try to get through this best we can. Jackson Darcy says, I think I pulled a muscle in my lower back. Well, that stinks, Jackson. All right, guys, up next, Super Dirt Late Model, Tim Hall, Garrett Burden, Camden Burden, Blake Panel, 10 minutes to qualify. So right now we're seeing Camden Burden. He's got his car out there. He's going to start qualifying. And these are the faster version of the late model class that we're adding or taking points for. We may take these in the future, but we wanted to take the class that we had the most entrants for, and right now that is the late model box stock class here at Lanes Raceway. Tim Hall, he's up next. Right now, 3.40 for Camden Burden. Now these cars can run a 10,000K motor and a LiPo that you buy here at Lanes Raceway. So that's why they're going so fast. Something very similar to this is you're gonna see out there on the asphalt, except the asphalt track is gonna be quite a bit bigger than this. Where this is about a third of the building size, the asphalt track is gonna be at least 3 times bigger than this track, so that they can get those top speeds like that and get a little bit of straight line speed, maybe possibly draft each other and stuff like that. During that racing, of course, nobody will be parking on the side over here. They'll have to park in the back when we have races like that, because we don't want one of these cars to go haywire and slam into somebody's car. So Tim Hall and Blake Panel both tied with fastest lap 3.029. So that's pretty cool. First time we've had a tie here. Right now we're waiting on Garrett Burden. He's currently cleaning his tires there in the upper left-hand portion of your screen. But one thing I have noticed, Tuesday nights, definitely a bigger RC crowd here. is it's dedicated strictly to Warren RC, where our Saturdays are open to the public to do whatever you want. With the weather being so nice and stuff, everybody knows that slot car tracks and indoor facilities and stuff like that tend to kind of slow down during the spring and the fall time. Summer, a lot of people would argue summertime too, but when summertime hits in Kentucky, it's just brutally hot. People are looking for a place where air conditioner is, so we don't do too bad in the summertime. Maybe other places do, but we're always running a series here or doing something. So that does keep interest up for sure. One thing is pinball during the summertime explodes. A lot of people love coming in during the summertime and playing a little bit of pinball. So I'm looking to get some pinball jacks and actually jack some pinball machines outside when it's really, really nice during the summertime so everybody can just hang out outside and do a little bit of pinball action and stuff on the weekends. Garrett Burton now got his car up here. We're ready to roll now, it looks like. And Garrett Burton already turning a 2.880. Wow, smoking fast. His car is humming, folks. Must be a fresh battery. And a 2.880 for Garrett Burton is going to be the fastest lap time for the super late model. We'll go ahead and finish that, make it official. And we're going to move on into the next class. Next up, dirt sprint car. Blake Pennell, Garrett Burton, Tim Hall. 10 minutes to qualify. Now, I know for a fact I've worked on Garrett Burton's car a little bit. He was having some trouble a couple weeks ago. I think it was flipping, and it was every week he was just flipping. It wasn't like Garrett's usual self. Garrett usually, every class he runs, he's pretty smooth behind, so I knew something was up there. So I took a look at it. We ended up getting that thing straightened up, and he turned some impressive times. I think right now he, during the race, is the fastest we've seen at a 3.1 during the race. So we'll see if anything's changed this week from last. And these are an open class, just like the super late models, so they can run the lipos and they can run all the adjustables and stuff like that. But it has to be 1RC parts. That's the one thing. So right now looking at a 4.019 for Tim Hall. He's got one more lap it looks like, but it's probably not going to be that good from the wreck taking place. And next we got Garrett Burton up. Now this is the car we worked on. We ended up putting some front clips on it and stuff. Now I don't know if he's worked on it since then, but it looks like he's might have done a little something. It looks like it's pushing a little bit harder than it was the last time we worked on it. Garrett, what'd you do to that car? Well, that's good. There he goes. He's getting her speeding up a little bit there now. 3.420, a couple tenths off of his time. I find too that these cars here, if you don't take a couple laps, get the tires kind of warmed up a little bit, they tend to not do too well too. And of course, during qualifying, you don't really have a whole lot of laps that you can build up heat in the tires. Now, right now, we're seeing Blake Pennell take his first lap at 3.670. And whenever I lay the rubbing alcohol on this track, it does cause a lot of grip to take place on this track. So until they wear it off or take enough laps to do so, it is risky for these cars. 3.410. Blake's going to get it by 1/100th of a second. So we'll go ahead and finish that out there, make that official. All right, guys, next up will be Dirt Street Stock. Tim Hall, Blake Pennell, Garrett Burton. 10 minutes to qualify. I mean, I can do that. I like it. They're wanting to do demolition derby in the middle of the track. So how would we do that? Run it until y'all break them? We can do it. Y'all want to? Okay. Yeah, we'll do demo derby. Y'all just let me know when. I don't know what's up with the orders this week. We didn't get any of our orders in. I know we made them, and they've already charged me. So Tim Hall right now with a 4.140. Garrett Burton, he's up now with a 4.580, 4.350. It's a couple tenths out. 4.190. He's right on the money now. So a 4.190 for Garrett Burton. Next up will be Blake Panel. He's cleaning some tires. This will be our last qualifier, and then we'll move right into the heat races. Hopefully, with the least amount of guys we got here, we're not going to have too big of a deal when it comes to uh, track marshaling here. But during, I think the main race, which is the dirt late model class, all of them are in it. So I am going to have to get up and try to help track marshal them. So a 4.140, Tim and Blake tying each other again. This is crazy. So that's it for that. I want to go over here and seed, create a new round, and it's going to be the heat race round. So the super and the dirt late model have 4, so me and T are going to try to take care of that. All right, guys, first heat race up. Dirt late model beginner, Tim Hall, Camden Burden, Blake Panel, Garrett Burden. Now, guys, there won't be any red flags in this because we're going to try to track marshal y'all. So do not wreck into the center of the track. If you're in the middle, it's over this week because we don't have the track marshals. Don't wreck in the middle. Take your time. So hopefully these guys will race each other clean. We'll get through this 30-lap heat race clean as a bean because I will be over helping track marshal in case they wreck in the corners. And T's on the other side. You can see her there leaning over the track. I mean, we could actually technically make 2-2 race, but you know that's just not much of a race and not too fun. So we're not going to do that. So I'm getting a message from my brother Gabriel in the A main, Dad and Glenn Burden in the B main and GTP. So that's cool. Gabe's stepping it up. He's now in the A main. That's cool. We've been trying for a while. They're at the Flexi Challenge there in Apex this morning. Garrett Burden's still working on his. Like I said, guys, y'all go in the middle, you're done this weekend. Don't wreck in the middle. We ready? All right, I got to go track marshal, folks. Hard hit there between Garrett and Blake Panel. Garrett there crossing the finish line with Tim. Tim up on the high side. We'll see if they pick each other's lanes pretty good. Looks like a pretty good clean pass there. Behind them, Blake Panel, and then Camden Burden there in the 77. I can't see what that says on the front of his car. He's got some kind of sponsor there. Maybe it says Burden Racing, possibly. Tim Hogg on the high side, and Camden there, giving him a little room. Blake Panel and Garrett, as usual, side by side, trying not to wreck into each other. Garrett taking the super high side. Tim's threading the needle there towards the middle as he passes both Garrett and Blake. Now getting a little bit of room out in front of there. Tim's gonna try to reel in Camden now. Camden goes the high side to avoid a wreck there. Kind of hits the outside wall too. Clean racing so far though. And this is our beginner class, and you're more than welcome to come down here with one of these cars, box stock, or get one here at Lanes Raceway, which we prefer. And you got to run everything stock. That's what these guys are doing. 2 laps left to go. And Tim Hall is going to bring home the first heat race of the day. I didn't even have to track marshal. That's a good race. So Tim Hall first, Blake Panel second, Camden Burden third, Garrett Burden fourth there in the heat race. All right, next up is going to be dirt modified. Blake Panel, Tim Hall, Garrett Burden. So Camden and T will track marshal this, and I'll actually be able to hit the red flag if they flip in the middle. They're all going to go and get their new batteries and everything else, probably clean some tires. Let's see here. No, this is dirt modified. Blake, Tim, and Garrett. Here's a little picture for you guys in internet land. That's the track they're racing at there at Apex. They've raced there once before, a couple months back. I'm going to see if Guillermo ended up making it there. So I do see Glenn. I see Dad and Gabe, but I do not see Guillermo. Something must have come up. I know he was wanting to make it to that race. All right. Camden, we need a track marshal. You guys ready? Here we go. So this will be 30 lap heat race, yes, yet again. But if they flip in the middle this time, being that Camden can help track marshal, I can actually stop the track. Had to mute the mic, I had to sneeze there. It looks like right now Blake Panel out in the lead there in the purple car, followed by Garrett Burden there in second, Tim Hall there in third. Nice clean racing here. They're all kind of evenly spaced. Times are a little bit different here. Blake Panel running a 3.970. He's about a tenth of a second faster than Garrett and Tim. On average, he's about half of that. Garrett's pretty close there. Tim's is running a little bit slower than the guys on average. A 4.591. Garrett and Blake both running a 4.1. So he's about 0.4 off, which is kind of abnormal. Looks like Tim's now must have had a wreck or so, causing that to be off. He's now lowering that average. Eight laps left to go. Blake Panel has had this all race long. Him and Garrett both on the same lap. Both of them just looking for one of them to make a mistake. But Blake Panel's car all the way out in front right now. By about half a lap. One lap left to go. Looks like Blake Panel is going to bring home the heat race. Garrett Burden in second and Tim Hall third position. So we'll go ahead and finish this up. We'll move on into the next one. All right, guys, next up, Super Dirt Late Model. Same as before. You go into the middle, you've crashed and burned. Do not wreck into the middle. Super Late Models next, yeah. Garrett to be front. Tim second. Blake third. Camden fourth. You want to go ahead and get lined up down there towards the back? I'm going to have to. They're all racing. That's why I said if they wreck in the middle, it's over. Because I can't stop the track. So, crash and burn rules are in effect. Just give each other some room. We'll see if that happens. I doubt it. I think they'll all beat and bang off each other in this class. It's a pretty quick class. But hopefully they do. Banquet's going to be a little bit lackluster tomorrow for the 4 crowns. We're going to get pictures and stuff, of course, and crown a king, get pictures of that and everything. But the only issue is we don't have our shirts, so we might hold off on the picture taking, and it might just get postponed till the following week when they can actually wear their shirts or come in sometime during the week. Because I really would like them to have their 4 crown shirt on while they get their pictures taken, just like we did last year. But our shirts ain't going to make it until the 11th, which is Monday, and Banquet's tomorrow, so that kind of stinks. But all right, guys, here we go. All right, I gotta go help them track marshal. Ugh. Out of the gate in front is number 22, Blake Panel and Tim Hall. Right there neck and neck with each other. T trying their best. And a car just ran up underneath Tim Hall. Oh, I guarantee you, I will stop your car with my hand. Yeah, like I said, nobody giving each other room here in the heat race. So we could probably expect more of the same when it comes to the feature. Oh, my. We got a crash and burn. But it was a good crash and burn. Three laps. That looked like a break. It looks like a piece of your chassis. Here, you can get back in if you want. 3 laps. Was that it? Whew, what a race. I hope somebody can get their stuff fixed before the main event. Blake Panel's going to take the heat race. Garrett Burden second, Tim third, and Camden crashed and burned. I'll go ahead and finish that up. Next up will be Dirt Sprint Car. Blake Panel, Tim Hall, Garrett Burden. That was a heat race. I think they went a little too hard in the heat race. That was like a feature race. A little too brutal. Yeah, it was a little nutty for a heat race. I was like, hey, there is a variable there. You can let off a little. But no, they were hungry for it, which is good, I guess. It had the best wreck I've ever seen. Camden flying off. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah. No, no, Camden definitely didn't feel so because I know if I was in Camden's shoes, I'd be upset. But it was cool. Yeah. Hey, for all those that don't think RC racing's a spectator sport, proving them wrong. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah. Not me. I just put that hand down. They can hit it. Trust me. They may be humming around through there, but it's they're not fast enough to hurt you. It's not like a slot car. Yeah. Well, like a slot car, it's a big hunk of brass. It hits you, it'll hurt you. Those are plastic. I'm not saying it won't hurt you, but let's just put it this way: it'd be in their best interest to go around the middle section because you're more than likely going to tear their car up with your hand. So this one here, we only got 3 in it, so I will be able to call a red flag if they wreck in the middle. I think that black piece that came off your car, Tim, was the piece of your chassis. Garrett, what did you think about that wreck? What did you think about that wreck of Camden? It was a big wreck, wasn't it? Well, it got lifted because the two cars meet. It lifted like this, caught air, and then got hit again by another car, which flipped it, and then it hit its nose on that and went sky high. That was a cool wreck. Well, it's a good thing when we got more racers here to be able to track marshal it, but we got to do what we got to do. That's why I said you guys got to give each other a little room in those faster classes when you're 4 and 4. Well, this one's got 3, so I can shut it off because I'll be over here. Camden, of course, will track marshal down there. We'll have T track marshal here. So if they do flip in the middle, which these are prone to do, I'll be able to kill it. I'm still just surprised that nobody just runs the high side all the way around on the super late model. I mean, it may not be as fast as diamonding it out, but here's the thing: you're you're always pretty much out of everybody's way too. I would like to see one person one day in the super late model just roll the high side the whole race and see what happens. Because I really think they have a good chance of winning. Because you think about it, if they're fighting down low with each other and they're wrecking every single lap, it takes the track marshal a little bit to get them, if not a lap, to get them put back on there. And you're just doing nothing but carrying speed the whole time. Now, I know whenever the protector was over there over the WK Raceway sticker, you couldn't do it because you hit that little plastic nub and it would spin you. Yeah. Well, now I got that baby off though, y'all. I mean, that sticker's real thin. I mean, you should just be able to roll right over it. I would. I would try it. That'd be the first thing I'd do is try it. All right, I'm back here in the booth. I'll be controlling the race here in case they come off the track, flipping the center. I think this week we're going to try to get some fencing put up around it and make it where that it's less likely that they'll flip into the middle. But it won't be a real big fence because we can't. Because in case they do flip in there, we got to still be able to get over the fence. Yeah, that's what we're going to use. Just something just to go up, just so that if they hit it, they bounce back in. It has to be stiff. All right, guys, y'all ready? And we already got a car off up on this lid here. That's Garrett Burden. Red. No, it's only out when I'm track marshaling because I can't control it. Yeah, when y'all are four deep and we got track marshals, it's you're out. But I mean, if I can be over here, I'll red flag you. Everybody ready? So Garrett needs to warm them tires up. And it looks like he's starting to warm them up a little bit now. His car's starting to change a little bit. It's him and Tim both get involved in a little incident here. Camden quick to help out there. Blake Panel currently in the lead by a lap. Tim Hall now flipping on the back stretch there. We're starting to see some pretty good driving here by Garrett Burden, now pulling it within one lap to Blake Panel. We see Tim Hall's car flipping, and it looks like Blake and Garrett both getting involved in a little bit of an incident there. Blake's taking a look at something. Garrett Burden now in the lead. The sprint car definitely a hard car to control, to say the very least. Now that Garrett Burden's tires are collected, looks like Tim got just a little high right there, and him and Garrett made contact. So I'm going to have to delete a lap there from Garrett Burden. So, because he went back and forth over the line there, and I caught it that time. But he is still 2 laps up. He may turn around and lose this as Tim Hall takes the lead. Now Garrett back in the lead. Another brutal race, to say the least here. 2 laps left to go. Red. I'm going to go ahead and finish it because he did cross. So we had to delete a lap there for Garrett because he spun around the lap timer and got an extra lap there. So, but even then, he was able to come back. A lot of wrecks taking place there. Garrett Bird in first place. Tim Hall in the middle, wrecked. And then Blake Panel pulled his car off. So we finished that out there. It's going to be official. And we're going to move on in to the last heat race. Dirt Street Stock. Tim Hall, Blake Panel, Garrett Burden.
That's what was wrong with the car.
What is going on here?
Tires coming off.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's came off the bead, didn't it? There it
Yeah,
goes.
too much grip.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of wobble too. I'd probably tighten that up just a smidge. But
Yeah.
man, it's pretty close, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's this, you know what it is? There's wobble on the axle right here. Yeah, I'd tighten that up a little bit to get that out, because that'll kill you. But once your tires warmed up, the thing did start doing like it did before. I think you just got to take a couple laps and get the heat in the tires. And once you do that, it's on, you know. Blake, dirt sprint car. Okay. Hey, was Blake? Did you just have your car out there? Was that a sprint car you crossed the line with? Okay. All right. I'm just making sure. All right. Tim Hall's coming up. He'll be in first position here. Blake Panel in second, and Garrett Burden in third for the heat race. And we're going to have 5 A-main features here this week. And this is yet another one where I'll be able to hit the red flag because I don't have to track marshal. There's something down there right above the Lanes Raceway sign, right above the R, next to that wood. I don't know what that is. Like right above the R. See it on the flooring? Pretty close to the wall. I don't know what it is. There's something over there, though. Looks flat. Tape? There's tape over there? What's the tape for? Oh, okay. That's what I see. So it's evidently tape for people to walk over to get their stuff. All right, guys, y'all. Camden, we need a track marshal. Y'all ready? And I'm on the red flag button in case one of them goes to the center. Tim Hall out in the early lead. Right on the low side of him is nice clean moves there by Tim and Blake. Blake's now in the lead. Tim pulling up to the bottom. Now he's going to take the low side. It's going to be a close race between these two. Tim taking a real low shot there, catching about 2 car lengths on Blake. Blake now taking the high side. They're side by side down the back stretch. Tim now taking back over the lead as they both get involved in a little incident. Tim spins out in the middle of the corner. And Tim now in third position as Garrett now takes over the lead. But it looks like Blake's going to take it right back. It looks like the low side for these cars is definitely the side to be running as Blake's now currently in the lead. Garrett Burden a couple car lengths behind. But definitely staying on the low side with these cars is how you make time up. I wouldn't even if the car would hold it to the bottom, I would keep it on the bottom the whole time because swinging to the high outside, you're losing so much. It's showing as we see Tim Hall here making some pretty good efforts there, keeping his car as low as possible. See Tim Hall there averaging 4.577 Best lap time of 4.190, now 180, as that was his fastest lap turn that previous lap. Blake Panel really running this well here this week. 4.190 is his fastest, just a hundredth of a second slower than Tim, but his averages are 4.40 dead even, and he's about 900ths quicker than Tim there in third position. Blake, he's somewhere in the middle between both these guys. And it looks like all of them on the same lap here is Blake's going to take the victory. First place for Garrett, or first place for Blake, second place Garrett, and third place Tim, all of them on the lead lap. We'll go ahead and make that official. And then we're heading over to the schedule, and we are going to create a main here. And we're in our main racing now. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and pull Garrett right into the A main. And I pull Camden into the A main. And we should be good. We'll go ahead and trash these because we don't need a B main. All right, guys. Dirt late model beginner. Tim Hall in first, Blake second, Camden third, and Garrett fourth. Now, guys, being as I have to track marshal, if you go in the middle, it's crash and burn. Give each other room. So hopefully they don't wreck in the middle. Usually that don't happen in these beginner classes. They give each other enough room. The cars are not so radically quick. But if it is, and they do go there, uh, they hook their own car and get it out. I'll let them put it back in, but I got to focus on cars spinning out and getting them back up. I can't focus on trying to hook a car because a wreck could happen at any moment. So right now we're waiting on Blake, Camden, and Garrett to get their cars lined up. Tim, he's got his set up there in first position. If you're wondering why they're starting that far back, it's because first position's right in the corner, so they're moving back what they can so that they don't spin up the track there right out of the gate. So Camden's got his car in. And now we see Blake with his car in. And Garrett with his. All right, guys, y'all ready? And I'm up going to track marshal. Out in the front is Tim Hall, followed by Blake Panel. And it looks like Camden's car getting a little bit sideways there. A really close battle between Garrett and Blake as they pull a little bit of a draft with each other, swapping sides there. Blake on the inside, both of them giving each other room. Side-by-side action here for second position. A little bit of a tap there. Nothing but a little bit of Rubbins racing between Blake and Garrett. Now Blake pulling back a little bit, but taking the low side now, catching back up. And we can see Blake there down to the low side here. Him and Tim side by side. And Tim tries to get there behind him, give him a little love touch, but it ended up pulling the air off Tim, and he spun out. Garrett now out pretty close to the front, but Tim's still in the lead. Tim getting into Blake yet again, causing a wreck. Now it looks like Garrett's probably going to take over the lead here for a few minutes or seconds as the two brothers pulling each other's draft moves there. You see Garrett there holding the low side, trying to find anywhere to get a little bit of track leeway, keep that momentum up. Because we got 2 or 3 cars involved in the incident here. 3 cars involved in the incident. 24 laps left to go in this feature, and Garrett Burton currently in the lead. Just trying to stay out of trouble. My opinion, coming off of 2, he's swinging a little wide there. He doesn't need to. The car can actually hold it down low. So if the car's tires can hold it down low, you always try to keep the car low if you can. If you can't, though, then you got to fade up until they actually start to hold. We get 3 cars yet again involved in an incident. Tim having a little trouble turning around there. A little bit of back and forth. 15 laps to go here in the heat. We got a car upside down, but back on its lid. I can only imagine what the super late model is going to look like here. An over-aggressive turn there by Garrett. Him and Tim getting involved in an incident. Side by side through the start-finish line. Now we see Tim Hall back in the lead. 11 laps to go. They're about 3 or so car lengths different from one another, but a close race nonetheless. 7 laps to go, and they're about 4 car lengths difference. Tim Hall in the yellow car there. As we see Garrett hit the wall now, about a corner section different between the two. Blake panel there in between the two. 3 laps left to go. It's been a battle for sure, to say the least. It's been back and forth between Tim and Garrett, who's been leading. Tim's been involved in quite a few wrecks here. Battery out. And Garrett Burden first, Tim second, Blake third, and Camden fourth. Was any of you guys here Tuesday? I know Tim was. Okay. So, uh, Garrett, T, get the paper. So now we got to write this down because this is for the points. So Garrett will get 100 points. Tim's going to block second place from Blake, so Blake will get third, and Camden will get fourth. Still decent points, though. All right, so it'll be Garrett first, Blake third, and Camden fourth.
Going down from 100?
Yeah, so it'll be 100, 90, and 85. 100?
But you got
No,
95 there.
let's not do it.
Hello, Tim.
But Tim had raced Tuesday, so he's not eligible for points, even though he got second.
Okay, but why did you go 195, 90?
Because that was Tuesday, and Jason finished second. So, see, if you look up here, Tim finished second, so he blocked Blake from getting second place. You understand? So Blake gets 90 points there for third position because Tim finished second place, which is for the 95. Do you understand? So even though Tim is not eligible to change his points, which he got first, so he couldn't do any better than that anyway. So Tim come to block all the rest of these guys. So what Tim's main objective was to keep Garrett or anybody from getting 100 points. You see what I'm saying? All right. Yes, Garrett, Tim, and Blake, please go get your pictures made. And I'm going to finish this race up. And and if you guys find anything y'all think any of y'all are cheating, just let me know. All right, and then I'll look at it. Are you sure you'd like to finish? Yes. I'm gonna make it official. I can always come back and unofficial it if one of them finds something wrong with whatever. But here lately, at least the past 2 weeks, I haven't had to worry about it, and I like that because I don't like to have to worry about it. Next up race though will be dirt modified. Blake, Garrett, and Tim. And on this one, I will be able to red flag it if they go to the middle. Everything good? All right, Blake, Garrett, and Tim, you're up. Dirt modified. While they're getting everything ready real quick, I'm going to take a small break, grab me a drink, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, let's get these cars out there. All right, Blake panel first, Garrett second, Tim third. And T's going to help track marshal in Camden also. All right, guys. 1 second. T. All right, guys, here we go. And out front, Blake Panel, followed by Garrett Burden. Garrett Burden all up into the wall there as Tim Hall makes the pass down low there. Garrett and Tim up into each other. Give each other some room, guys. We only got 2 track marshals. To the high outside there, Tim actually taking a shot to the low side to stop from getting in a wreck with another person. It's a little bit tight there, really. Could have gave a little more room. They're pushing Tim down low there. Blake Panel currently in the lead, followed by Garrett Burden and Tim on the same lap. Tim now opening up a little bit here. We'll see if he can catch back up with the guys here. So Tim's car quite a bit off time-wise. It's abnormal for Tim. His car's usually pretty quick as we see one of the cars take Tim out as if it wasn't enough. Tim right now currently 1 lap down from the guys. Just what I'm seeing. If I was Tim, I would probably take a few of them out if it was me. But that's just me currently. Is it's very, very tight. It seems like he's trying to stay out of everybody's way, but they keep to come down. As we see another one come down on another car here, it's now flipped upside down, and we might see a change here. Now Tim and Blake both on the same lap. Just like that, one wreck's all it takes, folks. And there could possibly be a transition. We're seeing a line there between the two, but it doesn't look good there. So Blake's average now 4.550. Tim's car at a 4.639 on average. Garrett Burden out in front by several tenths there at 4.334. All right, now we're seeing Tim's averages pick up a little bit there to 4.609 as he's racing side by side. Nice clean racing between these two here. Whoa, what a dirty move tried to be done there, but Tim fended it off and ended up shunting the backside there into Garrett Burden as Garrett Burden got up there on the backside of him. Now behind Tim is Blake Panel. And Blake Panel touching the left rear of Tim, pushed Tim to the high side there. As we see Blake car just get completely unsettled and slam into the wall there. Tim Hall just one lap down from Blake. We'll see if he can inch it up there. Something's up, has to be up with Tim's car, but if he can just keep it off, the other guys are wrecking quite a bit. Now they turn Tim there. It's been a rough race here for Tim. It's kind of similar to what we've seen Tuesday night with Blake in the sprint car class. He couldn't buy a bucket if he tried. Every time they come up on him, he got hit or he was hitting somebody. So, I mean, I guess every race weekend it's somebody. And it's going to see Garrett Burden initially there, first place, second Blake, and third Tim Hall. All right, guys, take a look over each other's cars. If y'all have a, what do you call it, complaint or whatever, let me know. And we'll go ahead and make that official. If I do get a complaint later, we'll have a tear down for somebody and we'll investigate further. Nonetheless, next up will be Super Dirt Latemodel. Now, this will be another one that's a crash and burner because I got to track marshal it. So don't wreck in the middle. So this will be Super Dirt Latemodel coming up next. Then after that, we're going to have Dirt Sprint Car and Dirt Street Stock after that to finish up. And this will be our last crash and burn class that all four guys are in. Usually we have more racers than this, but like I said, a very nice day outside. A lot of people just probably doing activities outside, starting their gardens and things like that. So Blake will be out front, followed by Garrett Burden, Tim Hall there in third position, and Camden Burden in the fourth position. So Blake will get a main sticker for the previous race. My wallet's digging into my side over here. Ready, T? All right, guys, let's get those cars out here. T, you want to run down to the backside? This will be a crash and burn race. Hey, actually, come get one of these sticks in case they want to fish their own car out. Here's how it's going to go, guys. If y'all wreck in the middle, y'all are more than welcome to go and fish your own car out. But me and T are going to focus on the cars that are still in the race, okay? Yeah, I mean, don't javelin it into somebody. There ain't no red flag. I'm going to be over here track marshal. Yeah. So if you wreck in the middle, anybody wrecks in the middle, it's your responsibility to hook your own car and get it out. Okay? Or you can just let it sit there. But because our main focus is to make sure, because you know how quick this is. If if you miss just a hair of a second, it's the difference between first and last. So my main focus is to get the cars back up and put them on the racetrack. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. All right, I'm on track, Marshall. Two cars and an incident on the front, and we got another one. This is going to be a wild 50 laps, folks. I think Tim's making a wise decision here. Ain't worth tearing up a car. These are radical here tonight. As we see one of them just take a straight shot to the wall there. Felt the wind coming off of that one. This might be bad. Ooh, I felt the static off that car. Tell you when this race is done, cross over the track and get that car. When it's done, cross over the track and get that car. You know where to cross over at. Two cars involved in incident again. It is crazy when these cars go by the wood right here. You can actually, like, it produces static electricity on the other side. I can feel it in my pants legs. Oh my, there goes a bumper. Usually we have enough cars to distinguish between an A main and a B main. This kind of levels things out a little bit. But this one here, is that it? All right, looks like Garrett Bird in first place, Blake second, and Camden third. Looks like Camden lost a bumper or something. All right, you guys check each other's stuff. If y'all got a protest, let me know. All right, we'll go ahead and finish that up. And what a brutal race that was. Tim Hall falling off into the middle pretty early on. Garrett, Blake, Camden, y'all go get pictures made. Moving on into the next one, dirt sprint car, Garrett, Tim, and Blake. That'll be the next race up, dirt sprint car. And then our last race for the evening will be the dirt street stock, Blake, Garrett, and Tim. So after that, looks like Blake's going to be taking another first place sticker. And this next race is definitely what separates the men from the boys. This is a hard class. I've raced all of these cars here at least once. Well, not raced them in a race, but I've drove them around the track, and I will tell you, it is a handful, the dirt sprint cars. Blake, did you get your sticker? Yeah, you did. Bl- you won it.
We retake it?
Blake won. Super Dirt Late Model. Blake Panel. You won the Dirt Modified. Wait a minute. I don't know. What in the world is going on? Okay, that'll work. Well, I don't know why it's all seated like this. Yeah, that's how you started, wasn't it? Well, I'll tell you what I can do. I just go backwards. Yeah, Garrett got it. And then Garrett got the Dirt Modified too. And then Garrett got the Dirt Late Model Beginner. Dude, I'm going to have to call some people to stop you. I might be taking your car. Take them all. Make you tear the rear ends out of them. Yeah. I'm the random drug tester for aftermarket parts. That's what I need to do. I need to just set me like write me a date out somewhere, stick it up underneath something, and be like, the date has come. Yeah, hammer them home. Hey, if they run the high side, you know what's crazy? If you get really close to the track and they run the high side, you can feel the static electricity through the wood. It's crazy. Yeah, tuck it in the front. Well, what it'll do is it'll get in her shirt, it'll loop back around and hit her in the jaw, knock her out. That'll work. All right, guys, listen. One of them goes in the track on this one. Now we got two track marshals out there. I can hit the red flag. So if they go in the middle, we hit the red flag. So y'all might want to get your cleaning rags. Well, then intentionally run your car on the dirt. All right, guys, I'm on a clean race. Y'all ready? Here we go. All right, Tim Hall out in the lead. And it looks like We're seeing some more problems here from Blake's car. We seen it Tuesday. He was having some issues too. And several people punished him for having some troubles. So we see Garrett Burden there. Garrett now in the lead. Tim right behind him. And Blake, a weapon again this week. Having issues with the wing car. Tim and Garrett both on the same lap. Tim in first place, holding it down. Garrett now in first. As we see Garrett wreck here, but Tim wrecking at the same time. Need some racers to come here and give Garrett some competition here. Tim usually really strong competition. Red. Huh. Everybody ready? And Garrett's going to get deducted a lap there. Flirting with the line, get you deducted a lap. And let's see, that hasn't gave Tim the lap yet. Tim now within 2 laps. Blake got the lap. If it gives him another one, we'll have to disalign it. And it didn't, so, or maybe it did, I can't tell. No, it didn't, okay. As Tim and Blake both get involved in an incident there. Tim doing some rail grinding there. Tim hasn't got the lap for that. Make sure he gets it here. He got it. Okay. Go, go, oh, go. Tim's got several laps he's got to make up here. Garrett wrecked again. Tim and Garrett get involved. Garrett had a little luck there. His car rolled back over. All right, and Garrett losing a lap for circling the start-finish line was still able to come back and take it. 50 laps there for Garrett Burden. Tim Hall, 44. Blake Panel, 35. What a brutal race, to say the least. All right, guys, y'all know the deal. Check each other's stuff. If y'all have a protest, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and mark it official. We're moving on into the next one. Next up, Dirt Street Stock. Blake Pennell, Garrett Burden, Tim Hall. This will be our final race of the evening. So Garrett Burden and Tim Hall right now tied in the point series for the late model series at 100 points. T, let's change that song, honey, when you get done, if you don't mind. A little bit vulgar. It's just a really nice day. That's what it is. Yeah. They've been waiting for this day to happen. Well, I mean, you always have your diehards. Well, I know that some of them, their ball games and stuff started, so they're doing that. Yeah. Oh, is it Burger Week this week? Is it? So what is that, like $2 burgers? Oh, are they? And they all make weird ones, right? The donut burger at Dee's Diner. So what's so special about the best one, and where'd you say it was? So which one are they saying is the best one? Kim's Diner. What is it? Bacon jam? How do you make jam out of bacon? Y'all need to quit. Y'all making me hungry. All right, guys, y'all ready? Here we go. And this will be our final main race of the evening. Garrett Burden pretty much has pulled off all of them this race weekend. Not necessarily clean racing this week that we've seen. Just to be honest, the racing's not been clean this week or today. But nonetheless, sometimes that's how it is. And right now, we're seeing Blake Pannell. He's been working on this car quite a bit. And I'd say this is probably Blake Pannell's strongest car in the fleet that he has. It's a very quick and consistent and good handling car that he's built. And we see all three of them side by side as Blake pushes down on Garrett Burden. Garrett gets his car straightened out there. Tim taking a low side here. Oh, man, we got a battle going. Here we go. Tim down low. Oh, there's two of them getting involved in here. So neither one got that lap here, and it's been overtime. Tim can have that lap there because it's been over 3 seconds. Yeah, they're close. Just one lap difference between Blake. Well, half a lap for Tim and a lap for Garrett. But Blake, he's pulling up here, and he has right at a half a lap, like I said, on Tim, almost a full lap on Garrett. They're kind of spread out now. Your leader now crossing the line here in the purple car. And 29 laps left to go. Anything can happen. These guys are starting to cluster up a little bit. Tim Hall making some really aggressive, progressive moves here. He's making the line that I was telling you about earlier in the heat race that these guys should be making, because that's what makes these cars shine. You keep them down low like that, and you just gain so much time, just like the RC. And we see Tim making the pass here. So Tim now in the lead. He just needs to keep that car low. If he can keep it low, it's all about shrinking the track as much as you can. That's what you use the tires for. A lot of people don't understand that. they try to artificially inflate the track when they don't need to. So the whole reason that when you come out of a corner that you inflate it, go to the outside, is because the tires can't hold the grip. But if the tires can hold the grip, you always make the tire hold the grip. Especially on an oval track, this is pretty much paramount. Now, if the tires overpower the motor power and you got too much grip to the point that it bogs the motor down, kind of like in go-kart racing, then you have to do a little bit of inflating to get the RPMs back up, or change your tires to something a little less grippy to compensate. But right now we're seeing Tim run some pretty respectful low lines here, and that is paying off in dividends here with 8 laps left to go. Blake still got a very nice line now as he's starting to bring it down a little bit lower. But bouncing off the inside line kills you on this. Garrett Burden just about a quarter of a track down as we see Garrett going to the low side here. Looks like Garrett's wanting to make the pass on Blake. We got 3 laps left to go. Can he do it and pull into second position possibly? Blake starting off strong here. It's almost like his battery losing some power. Oh, as we get a little bit of a touch between Blake and Garrett. But Blake Pano's going to hang on to that second position. Probably the most eventful race we had all night. Nice clean racing between these 3. Tim going to take first place, Blake second, and Garrett third position. And that's a good one, a good race right there. Guys, if y'all want to check each other's stuff, you're good? All right, excellent. It's official. All right. Let me come on over here to the live stream. That was it, folks. Uh, what another eventful race that we've had here. Now, Tuesday, we missed our first series race, but Tim was the one that ended up winning the late model class then. So right now we got a tie for the lead between Tim and Garrett. Tim almost clinched it this week. It was very close between him and Garrett in that class. If Tim would have got first this week, he would have blocked Garrett from getting that first place. But Tim's going to take home first place here in the dirt street stock class. And like I said, it's probably the best race we had all night. Everybody giving each other a little bit of room there in this last race. And it was very close. Everybody pretty much on the lead lap, and it was a battle. It boiled down to if you were going to wreck or not. But thank you guys for tuning in to the 1RC's Winter Series, the late model series at Lanes Raceway. God bless you guys, and have a great night. I'll see you here next Tuesday, or this coming Tuesday, I guess, for some more 1RC action.